Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to Hobby Table, the part of the channel that focuses on the miniatures, the painting, the 3D printing, the paper craft, you know, that part of our hobby. And in this video we're going to be looking at a creator, a miniatures creator that may be of interest if A, you want to take a break from the grimdark or sort of dark fantasy that seems to be flooding the market. B, if you want to bring maybe younger gamers into the fold, so maybe you want to bring your kids or sort of young people into the painting, hobbying, gaming aspect. Or 3, if you're interested in playing games that are more of a animal-based nature. This video, we're looking at NAGA Minis. Okay, before we start looking at NAGA Minis, I do want to say thank you to one of my longest running subscribers actually. Jackie, thank you very, very much for your gift. It did arrive. Works. I mean, it took a while to set it up, but it does work, and I really believe this is going to help the channel. Very, very generous. Maybe you shouldn't have spent so much. I do have, to put into context, I do have an Amazon wish list down below in the description. It's a way for you guys to help the channel if you would like to. You don't have to, please, no pressure. You don't have to do anything. But I don't really feel right setting up a Patreon or a buy me a coffee and asking for money. If you would like to send a gift, like I say, there is an Amazon wishlist down below and you can help that way, but please don't feel any pressure that this is required or anything like that. But I really do appreciate the gifts that you guys send me, and they will benefit the channel in terms of audio, visual, in terms of the videos themselves, the quality, but also maybe in terms of video content. If there's something that you really want me to cover, you could always add it to the wish list down below. I think that's how it works. But once again, Jackie, thank you very, very much. Very, very generous. You rock. Now, on to the feature presentation. We are looking at NAGA Minis. And NAGA Minis can be found on myminifactory. They have a tribe here. You can see down here, they've got their tribe. They are also on Patreon. And I've been aware of these guys for a while. I've seen them on myminifactory, sort of when there's been a sale. I've been scrolling through all the various creators. I don't normally do sort of random searches. But again, I noticed these guys when there was a sale on, and I was, searching through. But they're not really my kind of minis. They're sort of these, what do you call them? Animal. I can't remember the phrase they use. Anthropomorphic, is it? Anthropomorphic. Let's have a look. Have a look. Here we go. They tend to lean towards fun, whimsical, anthropomorphic characters, kind of like humanoid animals. Now again, this isn't really my kind of thing, but I had the pleasure of actually meeting Adley and Sarah at a local games event recently, and I saw some physical prints. Let me get the picture for you. Here we go. So they actually had on display some of their actual physical prints, and they were really cute. And I sort of looked at these and thought, you know what? I can use these. I can run some games with these kind of figures, with these kind of characters. And like I say, I met these guys, and we had a chat and we talked. And I didn't realise that they were actually a local creator, Malaysia, where I'm based. So like I say, we got to chatting, and I saw the physical prints, and I thought, you know what? Let's give them a try. I'll do a video for them, and we'll see what they print up like, and whether I can paint them, whether I can use them, because there are a number of games which could use this kind of miniature You got Wander Home, the Usagi Yojimbo role-playing game. Of course, you got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is the old cover. I think this is the new cover. I didn't back the new one because I've got a load of the old ones. Root, of course, Mausritter. Gatunos. This is from Brazil, Thiago Junges. I keep chasing him. I want an English version of this. Thiago, are you watching? Of course, you've got Be Like a Crow and Be Like a Cat, and then there's also Animal Adventures. I mean, there's a lot more, but these are the sort of more common ones. So there are games where you can actually play sort of animals or humanoid animals. But yeah, they have a tribe, they have a Patreon, and their figures are cute and nice. And this is another thing that I like about this creator. A lot of creators, the subscription is $10, $12, even up to $20 if you get like the full set. But this is more like some of those other tribes or Patreons that have the $1 subscription or the $1 level where you get one miniature per month. Well, this is a little bit like that. Instead of $1 for one figure, here you're going to be paying, well, one of you is going to be paying $3 a month. But normally it's $4 a month, and you'll be getting a minimum of 5 printable models and one sort of throwback model from a previous range. So it's actually a better deal. Now, like I say, you may not find these figures to your taste. Can we get this bigger? Open imaging, new tab. How about that? This is a bit bigger. But they may be very cutesy, maybe too cutesy for some of you, but I'm pretty sure that there may be some instances where maybe these figures could be useful. I did mention on the intro, if you want to break from Grimdark and you want something a little bit more wholesome, less violent. If you've got young players in your group, whether it's tabletop skirmish or battle, or whether it's role-playing, again, maybe some of those games I just showed you would be suitable for getting the young generation into our hobby, and maybe some of these figures to represent their characters can also help them to sort of join the crew. But yeah, there's a lot of things. I mean, if we look at, and again, at the time of recording, they are doing the June 2024 release. Again, this opening is in the new tab, get a little bit bigger. This is essentially what you will get for $3 or $4, but you'll be getting again, this is what, June 2024. These are like pirates. You've got a bear pirate captain, you've got an otter pirate captain, an otter cannoneer, you've got a very cute cat shelf decoration that I'm pretty sure my daughter's going to have me make soon. A lizard treasure hunter, lizard excavator, and like I say, there's this rabbit mage, which is the throwback. You've got some square bases, and this is what you'll be getting for, like I say, $3 or $4 a month, and it's a pretty good deal. Let's go and have a look at some of their stuff in the store. And they've got 200 items in their store, and they've got, like I say, a wide range of things. You can also have like these scenic items in the monthly packs. Like sort of scattered terrain, bits and pieces, and like I say, the majority are these sort of animal-centric designs. Some you've also got. Oh, let's have a look at this. You've got an onion berserker. I mean, how cool is that? Who doesn't want an onion berserker? But yeah, this is kind of cool. I like this. But yeah, the majority are animals. And as I mentioned, you can use these in a wide variety of games. Even, I think, when I was doing 5 leagues from the Borderlands, I was having problems back then finding a Preen figure. Preens are like these bird humanoids. I forget what they're called in D&D. What are they called in D&D? Can't remember. But looking here, there are actually a number of bird figures that you could easily use in games like 5 Leagues. Let's find some others. You've also got sort of cavalry figures or mounted figures like this one here, the Snail Mail Express. You've got a what's that, a bear postman on a snail mount. Yeah, okay. You're getting the opinion. You're getting the sort of impression of what these guys are actually producing. You've got an octopus here. Actually, I think this is one. I think I bought this one as well. I have become a tribe member of these guys because, like I say, for $3 a month or $4 a month, it's like an extra that you can add on to your normal subscriptions or your normal Patreons. Because at $3 or $4, it's not as expensive as other Patreons or tribes, and you're getting a few extra kind of minis that you can use. Some of them maybe are not so cutesy. I mean, have a look at this crocodile thing here. Yeah, this one's maybe not so cutesy, but can definitely still find a use in certain games. But yeah, mushroom folk priestess. You've got mushroom monsters. I think I also saw a yokai here somewhere. Yeah, a yokai. Necromancers, like a Japanese-style necromancer. Wolf knights, the bases that come. I think these come in the standard set. Weasel, ninja, flying cat familiars, magma axolotl, whatever that's called. Owls. Oh, there's a lot. There is a lot here. There's even a dragon. Where did I see that? I think the dragon comes in the welcome pack, but you can also get it separately. I think there's another page, but yeah, there is a wide selection here. The crow, folk, witch. Again, there's two different styles here. For a lot of these figures, they'll be giving you a choice of either role playing or combat pose. You can see here with the crow witch or witch doctor, there's like a role playing pose and there's like a combat pose with a sword. A naga, maybe I should get that one. There's a lot here, and like I say, there's something here that can fit a lot of games. But like I say, they're not grimdark in nature, so they may not appeal to everybody. But I think that they are a nice little addition to your collection, your library of STLs. And like I say, some of these miniatures can actually be used very easily in a number of games, especially if you have people who are maybe not so enthralled by the grimdark nature of a lot of modern figures. Maybe they want something a bit less violent, something a bit more sort of anime, or I'm pretty sure one of their inspirations is the Kung Fu Panda. So if you've got players or friends who prefer figures like this, I think I can recommend this. And like I say, I met the guys, Adley and Sarah, at the convention. Very friendly, very helpful, and want to kind of help them out, help the local businesses out. Now, I have a bunch of these printed. What I will do now is I will show you the printed models. After that, we will then assemble them, base them, prime them, and I think I'll probably paint a couple. Just so you can see. I'm a little bit worried about whether I'll be able to paint these things properly, because my painting style is more focused towards the standard sort of dark fantasy, grimdark sort of style, but we'll see what I can do. But I have seen, I don't think I've got any photos, but there were some painted examples of these figures at the gaming event, and they looked awesome. They did look really, really nice. So, NAGA Minis, before we get to look at the miniatures, let me just once again repeat, NAGA Minis on myminifactory and Patreon. The links will be down in the description. This is not a sponsored video, by the way. I'm not receiving anything for this. So, actually, I do recommend that you guys at least have a look at this. Like I say, most of us will find a use for these kind of minis, even though it's not our usual kind of thing. And as you know, some of us have kids, some of us have young relatives. At our gaming shops, I'm sure that you'll be having young people come in who are interested in the hobby. Miniatures like these will definitely get their attention. And then, when they get a little bit older, you move them on to Space Marines and Tyranids and Demons and everything else. Right, without further ado, let us actually take a look at some of the minis that I printed out. I didn't print out a lot. I think I printed out 8, maybe 7 or 8. But let's take a look. Right, we have printed out a bunch of NAGA Minis miniatures. Okay, so I need to point one thing out first. The pre-supports are good, but I did notice on a couple of figures a number of islands that I still had to support myself. So with these miniatures, maybe check first. Don't just assume that the pre-supports are going to be perfect. I think about half of them were fine, but I think half of them I still need to add a few supports here and there. But there were no failures, absolutely zero failures, which is always a good thing. Now, like I said, I've printed out a bunch of miniatures here. Some of them are from the welcome pack that you receive when you join their tribes or their Patreon. Some of them, I think one of them, which one is it? I think this one was in the June Patreon or tribes set, but it was a throwback mini. So it had the pre-support files. Come on, focus. So I was able to print this one out and test the pre-supports as well. And it came out fine. The staff's a little bit fragile if you're not using a tough resin, so be careful with that. But this is, like I say, this was a throwback mini which is included. They seem to be doing that in their monthly releases. They tend to include one throwback miniature. So this guy is going to be, I think I did need to do a little bit more cleaning. And I think this guy I'm going to be putting actually on one of the bases. Again, in the welcome pack you get a couple of base designs. I think in every set they normally include a couple of different base designs. In the current one, the June set, it's a pirate set. I think they have some square bases, which are more sort of nautical or pirate in nature. But I'm thinking that the rabbit mage here is going to be on one of the basic bases that you get in the welcome pack. Because they're perfectly lovely and perfectly fine for what they are. Some of the miniatures won't actually fit on these. Case in point, I think this one doesn't fit on those very well. This is the Fox Witch. Really, really nice figure. Be careful with the book. The pages are extremely thin in the book, but again, mine seem to print fine. And again, once again, these are all pre-supported. But again, I think this one. I think I found a couple of islands. God, where did I find the islands? I can't remember. But I think I had to add a couple of pre-supports onto this one. But this is really nice. So this is the Fox Witch. That is the Rabbit Mage. Okay, so this is a Squirrel Witch Doctor, which I printed out. Come on, focus. There you go. A squirrel. Again, I don't know how well I'm going to paint these things up, because I'm kind of used to the sort of normal sort of dark fantasy style. So I don't know how I'm going to be able to paint these things up in a sort of more cute fashion. It's going to be a test of my painting skills. But this figure, I think I purchased this one separately. Yeah, I got the welcome pack. I've got the June set. I missed the May set by like one day. But I also bought a few other figures. I think this is one of the other figures that I bought separately. Because when you become a member of their tribe or their Patreon, you get a 50% discount on all their other stuff. So I managed to get these at half price. But yeah, this is the squirrel. Now there was a few supports hidden in amongst the headdress or the hair here. They're easy. I think I've got them all. But yeah, like I said, I don't know how I'm going to paint. I don't know how well I'm going to paint these. But yeah, this one actually comes on a special base, which is like a smoke base. So I don't know whether you can see very well. There's actually a little slot here that one of the feet has a little, like a key that goes into here. And then the sensor, sort of like a smoke sensor here, this very fragile little thing here, actually fits in this, little like claw of smoke. So let me try and, it goes something like that. So she's riding, or he's riding on a pillar of smoke, a platform of smoke. But that was one of the extra figures that I purchased from like their older ranges. It only cost me like, I think with the 50% discount, it's only like $1.50 or something. Excuse me. This one actually comes together with the base. It's actually mounted on the base as part of the file, because the contact point would be extremely small otherwise. This is a mouse rogue. You get two versions. Actually, for a number of these sculpts, you actually get two versions. You get a combat pose and a role-playing pose. So I printed out the combat pose for this mouse rogue. Comes in the welcome pack. But there is also a role-playing pose where she's sitting on a chest reading a book. But I went for the combat pose. Very, very nice. I think this one I had to add some extra supports to the tail because there was a few islands, I think, on the tail, if I remember correctly. Nothing major, just... Now, the pre-supported files do pretty much everything, but there's just a few. Just go in and check, just in case there's a few little islands that they missed. But yeah, I like this. Again, I don't know how well I'm going to be able to paint it. What else is there? Okay, next we have an owl paladin. Again, this is one of the extra files that I purchased because like I say, I didn't want to print out this month's figures just yet because I don't have the pre-supported files, and I also want to test the pre-supported files. So I have the unsupported files, and they look very nice. I think this month it's like a pirate theme, so you've got otter pirates, bear pirates. I think there's also a lizard. What is he? A lizard treasure hunter, I think, as well. So this is an owl paladin. A bit too much on the supports. I think there's a lot of... Again, that may be me. Not necessarily Naga Minis, but it may be me adding a few extra supports. But yeah, come out with this. The only thing I'm concerned about with this miniature... I mean, the helmet looks really cool as well. The only thing I'm really concerned about with this particular miniature is fixing it to the base, because it's only on 1 foot. So this is going to be supporting the whole miniature. And it's not necessarily the foot that I'm worried about. It's the ankle. That ankle is very thin. So I don't know how well this miniature is going to put up with, you know, if I'm going to be using it in like a war game, like a tabletop skirmish game or a battle game, where I'm constantly picking them up and moving them around. I don't know how well or how strong that ankle is going to be. Like I say, the foot seems okay. There's a decent coverage area to fix to the base. It's just, like I'm saying, that the structural strength of that ankle, I don't know how well it's going to stand up. But like I say, it's only resin. It's quite light. So yeah, again, I've got to think what type of owl I'm going to paint. A barn owl, possibly. And so 2 more figures to show. I thought it was just 1, 2 more. So this is a crow witch or a crow witch doctor. That's I don't think that's his hair. I think that's like a headdress, like a Native American sort of headdress kind of thing. But yeah, when I took this one out of the resin, when I took it off the build plate, there were these white patches. Again, they're going to disappear once I prime them and paint them. But yeah, I got this one again as a separate order. This was again I think $1.50 with the discount. But yeah, I like this one. I wanted to see. For this one, I really wanted to see how well the details were going to come out on the sort of headdress. They came out really well. I mean, I have a 2K and a 4K printer, so I don't have the highest resolution printers, but it came out very, very nice indeed. So that's the Crow Witch or the Crow Witch Doctor. And there's one left, which is my favourite, and it's this little guy here. This is the... Come on, focus. This is the Mouse Knight. He's holding his shield up with his tail. He's got a sword which tends to bend a little bit. I think when I base it, I'll actually glue the sword to the base and sort of straighten it as I glue it, kind of thing. But this is just so cute. I had to print this one. Again, this is one of the models that comes in the welcome set. And again, there's 2 versions. I think this is the roleplay version. There's also a combat version where I think he's swinging his sword. I'll have to double check. But yeah, for pretty much all their figures, they normally give us 2 versions. A role-playing, which is a more static kind of figure. And then you have the combat pose, which is a little bit more violent and a little bit more dynamic. So yeah, these are the ones I've printed out. Now what I'm actually going to do is I'm not going to paint all of these like I tend to do with my miniature demonstrations. But I'm planning to paint maybe 1 or 2 of these, and I'll show you what they look like once they've been based, once they've been primed, and once they've been painted. But they are really nice figures, and I think as you saw earlier, they do have quite a wide range of figures, including some large figures, including dragons. I think there's also some mounted figures like cavalry. If I remember correctly, I think there was a model of the Owl Paladin on top this big... I don't know what you describe it as, an owl bear maybe, But yeah, these miniatures are kind of growing on me. Right, let me just get these assembled and based. Let me get them undercoated and let me paint one or two and we'll see what they're like. Okay, the miniatures have been primed and they have also been given a black future wash. Yeah, the old way of doing washes. And this is so that I can get a bit more definition into the shadows and the crevices and the sort of inner areas before I apply the zenithal dry brush. So I actually found that my white and grey primer had actually run out. So all I had left is this like a red oxide primer, which should be okay. It should be a decent foundation for these guys, since I'm thinking that a lot of them are going to be maybe brown in colour. But it shouldn't make too much difference. Like I say, once I apply the zenithal highlight, we'll see how it works. So this is the Mouse Rogue. Came out really, really nice. Then we have, I think it's just supposed to be a squirrel. Come on, focus. There you go. It has its own little smoke base, so I just mounted it on a plastic main base. Okay, it looks like the ink wash worked okay on this one as well. With the sensor ball sort of feeding the smoke. Yeah. Let me adjust the light a little bit. There you go, that's a little bit clearer. But yes, these guys are now primed and washed, and I will zenithal them. Not sure if I'm going to zenithal all of them for the video, but I'll do at least one or two zenithal and paint up. Right, we have some finished models. I wanted to get this video out by the end of this month. And as such, I haven't managed to paint all of them. The Owl Paladin is in the cabinet because I haven't really figured out a good way of basing that one yet because of the sort of coverage area on the foot and also the ankle. I'm still thinking about how to base that one. But the other 6 miniatures from NAGA Minis that I've printed out, they are in various states of painting, various levels of painting. The Mouse Knight. He's only at the dry brushing stage. I haven't actually applied any base colours or anything to him yet. Like I said, I'll be doing him a little bit later when I have some spare time, but I wanted to get some done, and like I say, I wanted to release this video by the end of this month. But yeah, they were all given a sort of a light brown dry brush first, and then after that they were given a white dry brush. I mean, the way that I did it for these guys is not necessarily zenithal. It was a bit more of an overall dry brush. But yeah, the Mouse Knight is only at the dry brush stage, but still a lovely little model. I think this was the Squirrel Shaman or the Squirrel Witch Doctor. Now, this one, I put a few sort of base coats using Army Painter Speed Paint, and after doing a few colours, I wasn't really feeling it. I think maybe my choice, the colour choice, isn't working. I may have to go back, maybe strip this and redo it. At the moment, I'm not really feeling the colours I've chosen for this one. It's a beautiful model. It's a really good model. I really want to paint this one up, but I'm not feeling the colour selection for this one at the moment. That's why he is work in progress. The other mouse, this is the Mouse Rogue, I think. This is currently work in progress. I was hoping to get this one finished by the end of the month along with the others, but it just didn't happen, just didn't have enough time. Not too sure in terms of the skin and the hair. I don't know whether it's... I think I used Runic Grey Army Painter Speed Paint for the skin, and I think I used Gravelord Grey for the hair. But again, at the moment, I'm kind of not feeling it yet. But it's a lovely figure. I want to finish it. And then we come to the 3 that I did finish. 2 2 I'm happy with, and 1 I don't like the way the fur ended up. Let's get that one out of the way first. This is the Rabbit Mage. That is actually the throwback figure for the June Patreon or the June tribe. Yeah, I don't like the way the fur ended up. It looks like, I don't know, it doesn't look like fur. It looks like some kind of serious tropical disease. Some kind of Nurgle infection. I tried doing it as like a fur kind of pattern, but it didn't really come out the way I was hoping. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I can put a couple of washes over it. Maybe that will help. Maybe a couple of, hello pussycat, shush shush shush, I'm recording. Yes, shush, yes, it's a rabbit, leave it alone. I'm thinking maybe a couple of coats of soft tone wash might actually help, but the rest of it's complete. But I like the way that the clothes came out. I think the upper part, the sort of shirt and the hood, I think that was shamrock green. The lower part was zealot yellow. I do like the zealot yellow. I love the way that it comes out. The bow, I think, was High Lord blue. All of these have had some kind of highlighting. For the green and the yellow, I didn't do a lot of highlighting. I thought the speed paint by itself was really good, so I just kind of did a little bit of edging. The blue bow, I did a bit of highlighting because it was a little bit dark. The base is actually from I think it's from the Welcome Pack from NAGA Minis. Got to be a bit careful because I haven't varnished these yet. I think a little bit of paint's coming off. So, but yeah, this is the Rabbit Mage, which again is the throwback mini for the June Patreon or tribe. I like the figure. It's just that the fur looks a bit weird. Comments down below how I can fix the fur. Do you think a couple of, or maybe one coat of soft tone wash will do? I don't know. At the moment, the fur feels wrong. Let's go to this one next. We'll leave the bigger one till last. Now, this is the Fox Witch. Again, I like the way this one came out. Maybe I should have highlighted the fox fur a little bit to make it a little bit different from the sort of red and orange in the clothes, possibly. I'm not too sure whether I like the way that I've highlighted the black. I always have a problem highlighting black and white. I know it's a common problem, but I still haven't figured it out, and I've been painting for, what, 40 plus years? But it's okay, it's usable. It ain't going to win no awards, but I like it. And I love the figure as well. This one also suffered from having quite a small contact area for the base. I think the base is from one of my Bestiarum sets. But yeah, this is the Fox Witch. Did a little bit of freehand in the book, because, you know, you gotta. And the last mini, again, I had a little bit of problem with the black, but this is the Crow. I think it's the Crow Witch, but I'm thinking that this is more a Crow Witch Doctor. I think my highlighting on the black was too much. It looks too grey, maybe, but I really wanted to kind of bring it out a little bit so it wouldn't be so dark, especially on the camera. But yeah, this is the Crow. I think it's the Crow Witch on the myminifactory, but I'm thinking it's more of like a witch doctor. But I like it. I really do like it. Again, we got the Zealot yellow. I think blood red for the shoulder part. For the robes, I used pallid bone, and I didn't do any highlighting on the robes. I just thought it just looked good as it was. I'm a big proponent of, if you like it, stop. No need to do edging or highlighting just because people say you should. If you like the way it is after base paint or after contrast or whatever, if you're fine with it, it's always up to you anyway. But yeah, I like this one. I do like this one. Not too sure about the choice of colour for the big headdress thing. I'm assuming that that's like a hair headdress, not the crow's hair, but just part of the headdress, the witch doctor's headdress. I'm not sure whether my choice of colour was the best choice for that, but I really like the way that this mini came out. This is actually my favourite one in terms of the painting. But I think I went a little bit heavy on the grey highlight for the black. But yeah, this is my favourite. I like the way this one came out, I really do. So, I printed 7, I've painted 3, I've got 2 work in progress, I've got 1 that I haven't started yet, and I've got another one, the Owl Paladin, that I haven't based yet because I'm still thinking. But let's have a sort of summary. They printed really well. I did find some parts, I can't remember which model it was, maybe the mouse. Don't know whether I mentioned it in one of the earlier segments, but I did have some problems with islands, so I did have to go in with the pre-supports and add some extra supports. Not a lot, just a few here and there. And I had no failures, which is a good thing. In terms of the quality, again, the supports came off pretty nicely. Sometimes there was a little bit of indenting when the support came out, but nothing major. I've seen a lot worse from a lot bigger companies. And in terms of painting, yeah, they're really enjoyable to paint. There's a level of detail that makes you want to paint the details, but not such a huge amount that it's off-putting. So I would put these at the same sort of level of complexity of detail as maybe Artisan Guild. It's not anywhere near sort of Archvillain or Bestiarum kind of complexity, but I really like the way these come out. I can definitely see myself staying on the tribe at least a little while longer, getting some more figures, because you never know, I might want to do some kind of skirmish game or RPG that features animals, animal PCs. Yeah, I really do like these. And I think it's taken me a long time to get these painted from when I did the intro and the start of the video. But I think the cheaper option has gone now. So I think you guys are pretty much stuck with the $4 a month level. And for that, you get like 5 or 6 minis a month. It's a nice little side subscription to your main ones. It gives you a few sort of miniatures that, you know, like I say at the beginning, if you want to break from Grimdark, or if you want to get sort of children painting or whatever. And I do highly recommend them. The guys, Adley and Sarah, very friendly, very helpful. And I do give this manufacturer, this creator, a thumbs up. So NAGA Minis, go and check them out on Patreon. Go and check them out on myminifactory. Not a sponsor. This video is not sponsored. I just want to highlight sort of indie games and indie creators, so that you guys can move away from the Games Workshop, Wizards of the Coast sort of monopolies. But yeah, NAGA Minis, well worth having a look. Okay, until the next video, take care, stay safe, cheers.